Hello everyone, I'm over here at KJHK in the studio here with Folk in the Flow. Just played at our first live ad of the season. Very excited to have you guys here. It was a beautiful, beautiful set. If you guys just wouldn't mind introducing yourselves, what you play and where you're from.
Okay, I'm Holly Taylor, and I do guitar, piano, percussion, and I'm from here in Lawrence these days.
Yeah, and I'm Buck Brandt, and in the band I play mandolin, violin, and guitar, and I'm from here in Lawrence, Kansas.
I'm Kimberly Storm. I sing, I harmonize with, well, everybody. I'm very harmonic.
Sing very beautifully, might I add. Yeah, you guys are wonderful.
You. And then I play some shakers and tambourine and some other percussion like that. And I live in Baser, but I used to live in Lawrence.
Oh,
I love
gotcha.
Lawrence.
It's a really,
I have
it's
to
a
do my
really-
Lawrence thing.
It's a really wonderful place to be, especially
Yeah,
for
it is.
music, and especially for folk music.
Yeah.
What brought you towards that specific genre in general? Because I know there's a lot of push nowadays for a lot of specific genres, but folk is something that I really would just love to hear more of, and I'm glad you guys are. So what brought you to that?
I think that it's just what naturally flowed. You know, trying out different styles of music. It comes back to really the lyrical quality of it, more than a particular style of music. I think it flows from different genres, but it's all, the heart of it is all, you know, music by the people, for the people, is where band name came from, so.
Right, folk in the flow. That makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. It is a very community-based thing. I remember I went to a couple talks talking just about folk music in general, and how it is just mostly passed from person to person, rather than, you know, you hear a song on the radio, or maybe some like cool band does something, and you're like, oh, that's really cool. You know, it's gotten some more tradition to it, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say.
When I think about folk music, I think I stumbled into it becoming a songwriter, but also just the types of instruments that I play. So like mandolin and fiddle and like acoustic guitar, they sort of all lend themselves to that style of music versus you know, having an electric guitar and you know, I actually started playing all the music that my dad played, like classic rock, Jimi Hendrix, Clapton, all that stuff. But in the early 2000s, I really fell in love with acoustic music, and then wanted to start writing my own songs. So I think when I think about folk music, I kind of think about you're like a songwriter. You know, like you have something to say, and so it's a good avenue to focus on the words of the song.
Yeah, especially. I feel like a lot of it too, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of folk music tends to have ensembles that aren't necessarily too big. You know, I see a lot of trios, quartets, quintets, things like that, and a lot of the focus is on, you know, what is being said, and vocals and whatnot. The lyrical aspect of it. Speaking of the lyrical aspect and everything, where does all of this music come from? Are these pieces that you guys are writing specifically, or are they are they coming from somewhere else along down the road?
Let's see. So for me, the original music just comes from inspiration of life. If I travel somewhere, I'm almost always going to write something about it. If I have, you know, personal experiences, they're gonna land through the music. Music is a process, and it's just part of the art of living for me. It's just, you know, whatever I feel, it goes through music. It's the next step that goes out.
Absolutely.
And all of the songs that you heard today, Holly wrote all of those songs. When we perform, I also play songs that I've written. They can range from a lot of things. I actually write what I believe is more in the folk style when you write about a specific thing, like you're telling a story. So like I have a song called Old Rag Blues, and it's about Old Rag Mountain it's not about it, but it's inspired from these places, my experiences in these physical spaces. Old Rag Mountain in Shenandoah National Forest in Virginia. And so just these places where the folk tradition and like just, like bluegrass and Appalachian music came from these sort of remote places. And so, yeah, it's like when you travel to places, you become inspired, and sometimes those, the actual places make it into the song. So, and then sometimes, I think for both of us, we kind of write somewhat from, not really a spiritual place, but just like, we're not writing a lot of throwaway stuff. I think everything that we put in our songs is what we feel inside of us. We're not contriving a song, or they're not that that's a bad thing. It's just people have different writing styles.
Right.
Pop music is very much for you to not think too hard, to think enough to enjoy yourself, but not think too hard. We probably cross that line and make you think a little too hard. We might make you uncomfortable, but for me, I always resolve things in my songs. Like, I don't want people to leave my song if they actually dive in, listen to, or read all the lyrics. At the end, they're not going to feel incomplete. They're going to feel like they came in a circle, in a way.
Absolutely.
So I'm not trying to leave people with discord, like I want them to feel relieved. I want them to be grounded, because most of the songwriting process for me is that. It's like not so much anymore, because I've sort of like matured as a songwriter, but like in the past, I needed to write these songs. Like, they needed to come out of me so I could move on with my life.
Absolutely. Yeah. I had someone speak to me recently describing that feeling as like musical constipation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta get it out, and you can't do anything.
And you feel better.
And you feel better
So
after
much
it's done. Absolutely, yeah. And that's interesting that you mentioned your kind of intentions in writing this music. It's a very intimate art form, and definitely there's a lot that can be brought across message-wise or anything in the music itself. So I'm curious, and you touched on it a little bit, but what is kind of the goal in putting this music out? What would you like to your listeners to feel or leave with after listening to this music?
So for me, music is it's all about the therapy of the experience. I'm a music therapist as well, and so my training first was a musician, then into music therapy, and so I see anytime we go out and listen to music that's therapy, that's an opportunity for people to relate to each other emotionally, intellectually, dance, physically, whatever, and it's a kind of a human experience that we get to embody.
Absolutely. It can be kind of hard to put into words how music makes us feel better. There's a lot that it does to make us feel better, that's for sure, but we always come away from the experience with something that feels really special and definitely lifts the spirit a bunch. I think everyone can attest to the power that can have,
Yeah, and for me it's important the energy that you give to people, and there's undoubtedly a wide array of like subjects, and some songs are just like violent and like they're all of these things, but for me I want to do good in the world, and I want to uphold these ideals in my song. The other thing that's really important to me is that it's like writing a note to myself, because I can't forget these important, like that's really what songs are for me. It's like I put all these important things in there, not just for other people. Like, first and foremost, it's for me. But like I need to know these things, because it's just like, if you're religious and you're reading the Bible, like you're not, like it's an everyday practice for your whole life, forever. And it's like, even though I can say these wonderful things and they're very idealistic and I truly believe them in my heart, it's still something that I don't, like, I still have to
Be reminded
I'll
of,
always
yeah.
be practicing it. I'll never have mastered it. It's there to remind me, and so I think in a way the songs are helpful. You know, the way to ground you and a way to bring you back to the present moment.
Absolutely, yeah, because once they're out there, they live on for much longer
Yeah.
than you do, you know?
And who knows how people experience your song? They may not even. Who knows what they think of it? So.
And I would just add that there's power in spoken words. So when I sing their lyrics, which are positive or spiritual or touching or all of those positive aspects of their music, there's power in that, you know, to put out positivity through your own voice.
Mhm.
And as people sing along and learn the songs as well, there's like something special and I would just say powerful. That's
Yeah.
how I feel
Absolutely.
about putting that out into the world.
Yeah, absolutely, and the world could always use more of that, more power, more of that love, more of that
Yeah.
that generosity that music brings. I'm curious, like as a group, as a band. I know that you guys have been playing together since 2017. What have been some of your favorite experiences playing this music, and what is something that you would like to look forward to maybe accomplishing in the future with this music, I suppose?
Let's see, yeah, there's a lot to look back on. We've been pretty busy. I think about the furthest that we traveled was out to Washington State on a tour in 2018, and you know, that was definitely an adventure. You know, we did a show in every state on the way out there.
Oh yeah.
And so I think, you know, always in my mind, you know, let's do some more traveling is always in the back of my mind.
Mhm.
But I think I would definitely say the most, my favorite memories are around our shows where there's lots of kids dancing, you know, farmers market, you know, the restaurants, wherever that is. That's the best part for me. So.
Yeah, same. It's so important to be out in the community and playing music. There's a very large scene, you know, around bars and clubs and venues, and it has its own energy. But when you're just out in public, and you know, there's a demographic of people, like usually small children are not late night at the club, you know, hearing your music come out. So it's, for our style of music, I think it's nice to be out in the public. As far as notable things, some of my favorite memories are Kansas City started doing Make Music Day in 2021, and so the first 2 years, it's sort of like you make yourself available, and then they try to like give you areas in the city to play, and so they hook you up with like a park or somebody who wants to be a volunteer to you know, to have your music there. And so for the first 2 years, we played at the World War I Museum, which is, you know, iconic Kansas City. And we played right before Taps, like for an hour and a half. And so all the people came, and it was kind of during COVID, so it was just a really special time, and people came out. And then we've continued to do Make Music Day every year, and so we just, like this year we played at KCI in the airport when the people get off their planes and come down the escalators. So that was pretty fun.
That is really, really cool. I honestly, and I'm born and raised in KC. I had not heard of this.
Yeah.
That is
So it's
fantastic.
on the summer solstice, I
Yeah.
think. So
21st of June.
21st of June. Mark your calendars. I'd love to hear you guys do that. I'm also kind of I'm a big music nerd. So alongside, you know, the people who play the music, there's also the instruments that the sound comes out of. Can you talk a little bit about the instruments that you use today? I'm really curious.
My guitar is special. It's a gift from my dad, who was a guitarist. And so I've been with that same guitar. It's been through the States with me for several, I don't know how many, decade or two. You know.
Wow,
and,
yeah.
So it's been my go-to.
yeah, it's a Gibson Hummingbird. So it's a I think it's a 2000s, sometime in the 2000s. It's when they were still making them in Montana. And so I love the guitar. We actually had to have it repaired because stuff happens to instruments, but we had a really great luthier to make the repair. The instrument I was playing is a mandolin. My good friend Jacob Haggerty out of New Mexico built it for me. I commissioned it back in 2021, and then it was a 3-year waiting list, so I got it in 24. And then, of course, new instruments have their own life, and so it went back to visit him to get some readjustments, and then I got it. So it was gone for a few months in 24, and then at the end of 24 I got it back, and I love it. It's my luthier thought it was the best sounding mandolin he'd ever heard. So
there you go.
But it's like it's a lifetime thing for me. It's a lifetime instrument. It's something other people will probably not invest that much in, but for me it's important. So I don't really care about that part. I just care about the instrument.
Right,
So,
absolutely. And as for you, I know the vocals.
I play a shaker.
Shaker. Well, how long?
It's yellow. Sorry.
All right, that run down. It's yellow.
Right.
What kind of vocal training or kind of vocal experience have you just gone through in your life?
Well, I'm not professionally trained at all, but when I was young, I did musicals and I was in the choir. Like, that's kind of my experience. And then as I became a grown person, my friendship groups were often people who were musically inclined. And so once I was in Lawrence, which was, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago or so, I was just in circles where other people I knew chanted, just were musically involved in so many ways.
Right.
I was in a ukulele orchestra. I did a lot of chanting with other women, and sort of that evolved into, oh, let's sing here. Hey, and then I actually just started singing with Folk in the Flow in 2023.
Oh.
So I haven't been with them the whole time, but it was just, so opportunities have just come to me through friends and people I know, and so I jumped right in because I love it.
Right, yeah, you gotta love it.
I love it, yeah, absolutely. It's a great joy for me, yeah.
Kim and I sing together in a women's group as well, called Star Sister Revival. And so we will be at the Lawrence Arts Center the 23rd of September in that group. So.
Oh, wow, Star Sister Revival. That's really fantastic. I'll have to note that one. Is there like a website or social for that?
We are on Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
So we pirated Kim, basically. but all of us musicians worked together. It was like,
Right.
we needed some extra stuff because when I sing my songs, Holly's really good at harmonizing. I'm more of a lead vocal, so when the harmonies are important, and so it would sort of drop off, when it went to me. Of course I can play all these instruments, but there was like the harmony part dropped off. So I'm like, we need to get someone to come sing harmony with us and to hold it out. And then it's really kind of cool when I sing, because then we have the 3-part harmony, which we didn't get any of that today. But
it's always beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. Really, harmony. So is that how you guys kind of all met then? It's just kind of doing stuff around. You happen to meet people here and there in circles and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, in Lawrence, it's really easy. It's very
small town, yeah.
inclusive, and so you just kind of, if you are part of one group, or if you do gardening, or if you do music, you're going to run into all the same people eventually. Because it's a big town by some people's perspective,
right.
But by other people's, it's a small town. So it just depends on where you come from.
Fantastic. Would you guys have any closing remarks speaking towards anyone who would like to start playing folk music, or maybe get into that genre, listening to it?
Where my mind went was, I teach Americana, and so listening is, I think, where it all begins. It's just enjoying it, listening, singing along, and I always encourage my students to, to go in their car and just, have fun with it and just become comfortable singing and with the music styles that they're interested in. You never know.
Hopefully people stumble upon it themselves, because that's what happened to me. It's like just in the course of listening to music or hanging out with other people, and I think it's amplified now with like, not that these services necessarily like, are good to artists, but like Spotify and all of those things. What was the one? What was the other one? The other one that would suggest other music to you, but Pandora.
Pandora, yeah, right.
And so, not a long time ago, but you used to have to listen to music, or someone had to play a CD for you, or a record, and so you sort of had to physically stumble into that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, when Pandora was really coming out and they started suggesting other music based on, what you like, that helped. I mean, so there's so many things now that can help people expand. Like if you're listening to something, there's a lot of mixed playlists. There's a lot of things that the computer is going to say, or AI is going to say, well, this is what if you like this, then my computer senses tell me you might like this, and it's probably true. So now it's almost like easy. So the thing is, if people get onto the type of music and it's something that speaks to them, then I think they're going to follow it down the rabbit hole. So hopefully by playing our shows and being in the community and being on the radio, and we've been on TV before, that people see this and maybe they never thought they liked folk music or something, or maybe they thought it was this, just folk music is only Woody Guthrie and early Bob Dylan, but I mean that's not really what it is now. It's sort of like, it kind of touches on rock, it kind of goes to blues, like it's sort of, it's really hard to pin down genres specifically, but I associate it with sort of telling a story. And so if people are interested in hearing stories, interested in hearing deeper meanings to things, I think look into folk music.
And one other recommendation, if you are an instrumentalist or vocalist, we have a women's jam in particular that I lead the third Saturdays at Americana, where any level person can come in and just listen. They can come in and bring a song or try out playing a new instrument, and we just have a circle that's very open and supportive to wherever you're at, whatever you want to sing. So that's a lot of fun, and they have some other jams as well.
Sweet. Do you have to sign up for that or anything?
No, you can just show up.
Just show up.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Well, if we wanted to listen to more Folk in the Flow, where can we find you? I know we have a website.
Yeah, we do. We're on folkintheflow.com, and we're also on Bandcamp. It's a good place to find us. YouTube, we have some videos out there.
Yeah, there's one official single called Abundant Gardens. It's a song that I wrote, and it's been out for a few years. It's on every platform. We put it out through DistroKid, right? And then there's just Holly and I. We went to a studio, Delta Rhythm Studios, and there's a live video performance of us performing in the studio there, and there's about 6 songs, I think. So that's on YouTube, so you can look up Folk in the Flow. And then we have, there's some amateur footage of us that will pop up in there. But folkintheflow.com is the best place to figure out everything about us. We have got all the information about who we are, and there are links to all of the things that we've done. There was something through, was it Johnson County Library?
Yeah, some interviews.
There's some interviews. Just I could go on and on, but we've got to do some really cool things. We were at Folk Alliance a few years back, and that was through the Doug Dubois Harmony Fund, and we got a lot of they paid for us to go there, and we did a bunch of private showcases and stuff. So folkintheflow.com is pretty much our central hub for for finding out about us.
Yeah, and events mostly on Facebook. Like I said, we'll be out at the Crescent Moon Winery on Saturday, and it's always a beautiful destination. So.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being here. This has been Folk on the Flow live at KJ 90.7. You can watch their live performance right on our YouTube channel, KJHK. You can also check out Folk on the Flow on their website and their single streaming on all streaming platforms. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
genuinely.
thank you.